Hello. Hello, my name is Max Kinney. I'm going to be doing a little video blog. I'm going to be calling it, what should I call it? Masculinity? I don't know, we'll come up with a name later. But today I'm going to be interviewing Kevin here. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Kevin Armando.
Okay. We are currently child development specialists here at Consumers River College. Kevin, is it okay if I ask you a few questions today?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, perfect. So the theme of this is masculinity. Masculinity in young children, masculinity in the lifestyle, or in men. So I would like to see, first, what is your definition of masculinity?
Well, ever since I was pretty young, my definition of masculinity had come from my father. Mostly being of the fact that, and even from society too, at a young age, that as a man, being masculine, you have to be pretty tough. You have to be thick-skinned. You have to be, I wouldn't say brutish, but more stronger than most.
Okay. Perfect. Do you think that there are certain social roles that a man should and should not do when it comes to masculinity? Do you think that has evolved over the last maybe 50 years?
As I see it, men have, I wouldn't say downgraded, but it's like everything's kind of changed. I'd say 50 years ago, people would think that men were more into like being a construction worker or to be, the really brute type workers, lawyers, doctors. But nowadays I feel as though men are starting to change. They're starting to go into different fields. They're starting to adapt into different places. I mean, things are changing.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you. What do you think the importance of masculinity is when it comes to young children and their development? Do you think that a role of a male father figure, uncle, grandpa, do you think that has a big thing to do?
As I look from the family structure over time, I mean, that's how it was, hundreds of years ago. It was obviously, the father was the one that, worked most and earned most and did most for the household. But as for today's day and age are changing, families are starting to become single parents, like single mothers, single fathers. They're having to take over those roles. So I feel like it's starting to change a little bit. The roles are starting to switch because there are starting to become a lot more feminine, more caring men than there are, more strong and more masculine women, which isn't a bad thing. I feel like it's starting to equal out in both perspectives, both sides of the story.
Okay, thank you. Do you think that, going off of that, do you think that having a male figure with either being raised in a single parent household together, or not knowing your parent, do you think not knowing a father, do you think that has a role to play in it?
What would you build on that more?
So if an individual, if they were to be born in the same neighborhood, same socioeconomic class, and a young boy were to have a father versus not having a father, being raised in either a 2 or 1 parent household, family of divorce, or not even having a father at all, what do you think that the effect of that is?
When it comes down to it, as I've seen it before, and I mean I can vouch for this as well. Even though I have both parents, I have friends that have had single parents, single mothers, single fathers. The dynamics do change. Usually, when it comes to a single father family, the one that actually does have a father, boys tend to take after the role model of the father. Which if they show that they're more masculine, they've been raised that way, and they work that hard way, they're going to want to build on that. When it comes to the mother, then it kind of changes a little bit. The mother's more caring, the mother's more this and that. It all depends on what that adult passes to the child, because you can be a hard, strong mother and a caring father in the other aspect as well. it's not just one side. You have to be a caring mother, you have to be a caring or a strong father. It could be a caring father, stay-at-home dad, single, or single stay-at-home mom, work really hard, I'm a lawyer, this type of deal. It's changing every day.
Okay, cool. All right, and last question. What, in your personal belief, from being a hard, kind of closed off type of person to more of a sensitive person, what would you say is a good balance in your personal opinion?
In my personal opinion, I believe that the balance, you can be that hardworking person, you can be that one that, takes after whatever you want, you can adapt those skills, but you also still want to be generally caring. There are people in the world that, you do that too, you do care for, like, you're going to have to. There are people that you're going to have to. I mean, obviously when it comes to, being in a relationship, whether it's, same sex, different sex, homo, hetero, things like that, you're going to have people you're going to care for. You're going to have to develop emotions as well. I feel that, though, if you're a male who's one-sided, who's just tough, tough grit, and you don't have any type of, like, saddening emotion, or you don't have any of that, it's going to bottle up and it's going to hurt if things do go south. Yeah. So you're going to have to find a balance.
Okay. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you, Kevin.
No problem.
I appreciate it. This is episode 1 of Masculinity Talk. We'll come up with a better name. But, yeah, appreciate it.